Well, we've flown all the way to San Jose for WWDC with Apple, but most of that's over now. I've got a bit of an afternoon to myself. So we're here in Silicon Valley. I thought, let's see how many tech companies we can find and visit in Silicon Valley and just find out what the heck Silicon Valley really is. Stop number one, eBay. Originally founded in 1995. It was called the auction web. Lucky they renamed it because it's not really about auctions anymore, is it? It's all about sales, buy it now, and they're even big online or offline retailers use eBay as their storefront for a lot of products. So here we are in Silicon Valley, headquarters of eBay, one of the world's biggest online retailers, $10 billion worth of revenue, and probably not slowing down. Love it. Well, I don't know about you, but I've got a lot of streaming services on my phone, my iPad, and this is one of them. Netflix, founded in 1997, I think, but it wasn't a streaming service back then. It was a CD and DVD rental and sales business. You'd rent CDs via the post or buy CDs. They didn't last long selling them, but it was the rental that really took off, and then they discovered streaming. They'd have the content digitally, you'd be able to get it over the internet, and now it's an absolute behemoth. $15 billion revenue, 5,500 employees, and they're making their own shows now. So they're literally an entertainment business. You think of the big shows that they're making, that like Stranger Things and House of Cards, that are entirely Netflix productions, moving away from buying content. So an absolute behemoth, and this place is enormous. Like, there's a lot of buildings here for their employees, because it's not just the people that buy the programs and make the app, but of course there's people that have got to make those little album art, the cover art for all the shows. And little fun fact, there's not one album or cover art for each show. There's heaps, because each person has a different taste. So the cover art that I see for Catch 22, or that's on Stan, not on Netflix. The cover art I see for House of Cards will be very different to the cover art you see for House of Cards, because they know how to get you in. They know how you get you interested. Netflix, another one of Silicon Valley's finest. Well, this one's a bit older than me. Apple was formed in April 1976, and this is number one, Infinite Loop. The headquarters of Apple for many years, up until really the last couple of years when they had Apple Park. And just for perspective, we've traveled at least 10 minutes in between each destination thus far, so everything is quite close. From eBay to Netflix to here, 25 minutes with the stop at Netflix. So it is actually quite a small area, but it's actually quite a large space overall, Silicon Valley, because it covers so many cities and so many, I guess, council areas, we might call them. So this is what we might think of as the original Apple headquarters. We'll go take a look now at the big beast, the spaceship, Apple Park. So this is Apple Park, open to some employees in late 2017, but actually only officially opened, a little opening ceremony with Lady Gaga just a few months ago here in 2019. This was Steve Jobs' final big vision. 2006, he took this building to the Cupertino City Council. Obviously didn't see it through to its completion after his death in 2011, but it is an epic monument to Steve Jobs and everything Apple. And this is where their main headquarters are now, though there are still employees scattered all over Silicon Valley and around the world. Well, this one's going back even further, 50 years now. Noyce and Moore, in fact Gordon Moore, the author of Moore's Law, he and Robert Noyce created Intel, and that's where we are right here and right now in Silicon Valley. So this is kind of, again, we're getting to the true heart of old school Silicon Valley with Intel being such an old stalwart of technology, and still today. A lot of competition though today, so they're still pushing and they're still working hard, but this is where they do all their work, based in Silicon Valley. Well, this one's a bit more familiar to me. Netgear, founded by Patrick Lowe in 1996, making networking equipment now. They do a whole bunch of things you can see over here on the door. They've got the Arlo, they've got the Mural, a whole range of products, but still at their core, a networking business, huge across the world, and based right here in Silicon Valley. One of those, you know, solid technology companies, because without companies like Netgear, the internet doesn't exist, because the internet is just a series of computers connected by routers and switches to each other. Netgear, another big part of Silicon Valley, about 8-9 minutes from Intel where we just were, but this is the last that we found down in this kind of San Jose end of the I guess the San Francisco kind of coastline. As we head north towards San Francisco is when we start to see a next couple, and we'll see if we can make it there this afternoon. Hopefully we're going to find Google and Facebook. Well, this one's a bit more interesting. Google, it's quite a campus, which is a common term here in tech world. To have a campus, a large area of a lot of buildings and a lot of staff, and Google have got everything here from beautiful beach seats to beach volleyball right on campus. But this is one of the newer tech startups. No longer a startup really, are they? But one of the biggest tech companies in Silicon Valley. So it's a big campus, Google, a little bit lost, so I thought, what else but to ask Google, hey Google, where's my car?
Right that direction, sir.
Bingo. Progress, lots of building here in Silicon Valley, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next part of the Google complex, but most importantly, you can stay comfy here with Android. It's everywhere. Well, I won't lie, this one's a bit boring. There's no big Facebook sign, and we may not be at the main entrance. There was a lot of traffic, so we came around the back way. Frankly, we're just in a car park. But it's very nondescript. But there is a very large construction happening next door, so I'm wondering if there's yet another major Silicon Valley HQ being built, this time by Facebook. So big stuff, lots of car parks, and a lot of space. It looks like a big open plan office inside. But anyway, that's another one of the big modern Silicon Valley tech giants. Boring though. So funny story, this sign here, I don't know if you can see it correctly, it says Sun Microsystems. But in fact, what I've found here is a secondary part to the Facebook headquarters. This is one hack away, the last building we were at was one Facebook way. So again, this is all about expansion, so they've had to take over a large part of this space as well. So we've got hack away, thumbs up, like, and that's the other part of the headquarters. It's a big space, Facebook, billions of people all clicking like. Look, if there's one thing that stands out in California more than anything, it's Teslas. They are everywhere on the road. I mean, as someone who wants a Model 3, can't afford one, they're just bloody everywhere, and never more so than here at Tesla's head office. Although if you wanted to stand out and maybe show yourself as a bit different, you just park an old Volvo in with all the Teslas. This is actually not their factory, this is just their head office, but a lot of cars here, a lot of testing done here, a lot of engineering, and you got to say one of the great startups right now in Silicon Valley. So when you think about all the companies we've seen today, you go from the old school Intels right through to the modern day Facebook, Googles, Apple in the middle there, and then you got this. What is it? Is it the future? Will it be a long-term company, or will it be bought up, gobbled up? Who knows? But it just proves you can see a lot in one afternoon here in Silicon Valley. I think we've been on the road for probably 4 hours, and we've seen a lot. Not exactly your average tourist trip, but if you're a nerd, heaven.